Yo, what is going on, you sticky snubbles? Today we're playing some games with Malamar, Giratina, Spell Tag, Malamar, whatever you really want to call it. It is the Spell Tag, Giratina, Malamar, based around trying to use Giratina for the most part. And then we got the cleanup crew of stuff like Espurr, Espeon Deoxys, and Mimikyu. Probably isn't too ridiculously different from decks or lists of this deck that you guys have been playing or seen going around. But there's a couple new additions that have been getting added into lists recently, so I thought I would go ahead and show off the Tina Malamar once again because of the new additions. Recycle Energy is started to be included in the list. I'm not quite sure how I feel about this, just because of the off chance when you need to discard a Psychic Energy, you draw into this instead of a Psychic Energy. But once this does get online, and once you get enough Psychics in your discard pile, it's kind of irrelevant that it's a Recycle Energy instead of a Psychic, so you'd rather have it be the Recycle Energy. So I'm still not sure if this is necessary or worth it, but it's pretty good once it gets online. We've got an adventure bag because we want to aggressively find our spell tags. It also kind of acts as a third switch. It kind of covers a spot of a third switch, as well as more ways to find spell tags, because we can use it to find the escape board, which gives us the switch effect for the turn. Usually when we open something like an Inkay, a Jirachi, anything with 1 retreat cost, we can then just adventure bag for the escape board, move our active to our bench, and then get that turn 2 attack that Malamar is so necessary for Malamar to get off, the turn 2 attack. So the adventure bag kind of doubles as third switch that some people have ran sometimes, as well as more ways to find spell tags. And you really want to try and have all 4 spell tag trigger throughout a game. So finding those early and often is also super important. We also have 1 power plant in here for the Mew box matchup, so we can take the 1-shot on the Mew and Mewtwo tag team, even if they have a Jirachi in play. If we get a Distortion Door ping on it, or if they knock one out, we can put 10 damage from a spell tag, then get our power plant into play and take a 1-shot. We only play 1 because we just need this kind of eventually against the Mew box deck. As long as we're like set up, doing damage every turn, hitting them, at one point we just want to kind of find this and then hit for a little bit more damage than we were hitting before, and taking a big 1-shot with a Shadow Impact usually. Sometimes we can use Mimikyu to copy something, but usually it's just going to be a Shadow Impact to hit something really hard. But yeah, that's all I got to say on the updated list. Let's go ahead and get into some games. Starting this one, we're going to start with the Acro Bike here. Look for some options. No idea what we're playing against, but I probably don't want to give up the boy Mimikyu here. So we're going to hold on to the boy. I'm going to, ooh, this gets awkward. Calm away Malamar to get ourselves a Giratina. And then we can treasure away the Giratina to get ourselves a Inkay. We don't want to bench Mimikyu, but I'm kind of not seeing a way around benching it, so I think Mimikyu just kind of has to come down. Gonna bring the Tina back, put the spell tag on it. Yeah, I definitely want to get the extra draw off the Lillie here, so we're gonna bring the Tina back, get the extra draw off the Lillie. See what's up. Double escape board. We can get into a Jirachi if we want to, and I think we want to. I'm gonna calm away a Malamar, get ourselves a Jirachi. It seems something like a Viridian Forest or something would be pretty cool here, so I think I want to try and find that potentially. Let's take a look for that. There's an there it is, the Viridian Forest. Definitely want to utilize that right now. Put a Psychic in the discard pile, get ourselves another Psychic Energy to the hand. Whoa, prized 2 of our Psychics. That's not a big deal. Not gonna put the escape board on the Jirachi yet though, because if this guy gets knocked out, I don't want it. I wouldn't want it there. So just gonna go ahead and pass over to our opponent, see what they can come up with on their first turn. See if we gotta be scared at all or not. See what they're playing. We have no idea what they're playing. There's an Ultra Space. Ooh, is it the Blacephalon? Looks like it is. The no Blacephalon start is actually a really big deal for this matchup though. Blacephalon is the go-to guy in this matchup, but there's a Psychic Energy. So either, whoa, super bad start for our opponent here as they pass over to us. Not gonna use the adventure bag, just gonna hit it with the Cynthia here. Look for just an energy or a Viridian Forest. That works as well. Third Inkay is going to come down. Viridian Forest is going to come down. Get rid of one of these Lilies. Spell tag, the most important card in the deck at all times. So want to hold on to those. Stellar Wish here. Going to grab a Cynthia. A little bit better than Lillie. Lily's not too bad though, because we have the spell tag, so we can give ourselves the option next turn depending on what we feel like we need to draw. If they somehow knock us out, we would maybe want to go with using the Cynthia here to try and find enough stuff so we can actually like get another knockout or get another attack off on our next turn. But if not, I'm gonna go ahead and punch my own Jirachi here. Yeah, I don't think I want to punch my active. I don't think so. I don't know what we're playing. So I don't know what we're up against, so I don't know if I want to punch my active or not here, actually. I just don't know. There's a Heat Factory. It's got to be Blacephalon, right? Yeah, it's Blacephalon. All right, it is Blacephalon. Wasn't sure at first. We are way ahead on the prize exchange, though. This is a terrible spot for our opponent to be in. Usually in this matchup, if you go second as the Blacephalon, you want to open the Blacephalon. You want to get off that Burst GX turn 1 so you can get ahead on the prize exchange as soon as possible, and then go in with Mind Blown every turn. From there, it looks like it's going to be a Poipole and pass from our opponent. So from bad to worse, we are just going to Cynthia here. We want to set up some Malamars here. We're going to be looking for those. I'll go ahead and use a Acro Bike here. Get that Recycle Energy. Perfect. I think I will Acro again as well, actually. Looking for Malamars and none to be found. I will go ahead and treasure away the communication here, though. Get a Malamar out of the deck and put him into play. Give me that Malamar. I guess I may as well put it on the Ditto, just in case our opponent plays Wobbuffet. You never know if they're going to play Wobbuffet or not. Wobbuffet's pretty good right now, in my opinion. So, and then, yeah, Shadow Impact for the knockout. Could hit our active. It's a little bit better to just go ahead and hit something like the Mimikyu, though. Yeah, I think I like hitting the Mimikyu. If we hit our active, they could go like Welder, Beast Energy, knock us out with a Naganadel, so or even charging up Beast Energy, and I just don't want to give them prizes. So we're just trying to avoid our opponent giving our opponent prize cards. That's all we're trying to do here. So that plays around that the best. We'll see what our opponent has past this, because this is not great. There's a Lillie for 3. Terrible start, and then a terrible 2 turns of follow-up so far from our opponent. They are on B-String turn, though. They can use B-Strings, and they will have another turn of B-Strings most likely. If they don't get anything going this turn, they'll for sure have another turn of B-Strings. Yeah, they'll have another turn of B-Strings almost certainly. They usually get 2 turns of B-Strings in this matchup. There's a Blacephalon finally for our opponent. They did it finally. Took them a little bit too long, but they're here. B-String. Okay, they can attack us with the Heatran if they want this turn, or they're close. Oh, maybe not quite. They're already charging up. So yeah, actually they can't quite hit us with Heatran this turn. Looks like it's going to be retreat to Heatran, but they can only pull the 2 fire energy up. Oh, they haven't attached for turn yet, though. So there we go. There we go. Fire energy from hand. You did it. Got the attack off. If we hit it for 130 plus 4, 170. So I want like 2 here. I think maybe just 1. I want 2. And then I'm going to ping both those. I think I want 2 here as well. Yeah, I think I want it like this. I think I want it like this. I'm not 100% sure, not going to lie. We're going to find out how it goes. We're so far ahead. I think we'll win this one no matter what. So I guess maybe experimenting a little bit with the damage here. This Distortion Door damage will go here and here to set these 2 up to die to a hit plus a spell tag. Attach the Recycle Energy, attach the spell tag, and then Cynthia. All we're looking for at this point now is spell tags. 3rd Malamar is great. We'll get that guy eventually, but really just spell tags. There's a spell tag. Viridian Forest here. Gonna thin out this Jirachi. Don't need him anymore. Don't want him anymore. I didn't really like him anyways to begin with, so Stellar Wish, spell tags. Don't even really want the switch. I'm just gonna go ahead and fail that then. Yeah, don't really want the switch. Save that for later. That's fine. And then, yeah, recharge to the Tina, smack this guy for 130. And if he stays in the active and hits us, we can knock him out with Spell Tag. If he runs away and we hit with something else, well, same thing. We're always knocking him out with Spell Tag here. But I wanted to put like the minimum amount of damage on this in case he plays like a Lysander Labs or something. And if they were to go like Lysander Labs hit us, I think they should best on the Malamar. Yeah. So if he goes like Lysander Labs hit us, then we can Shadow Impact him. We want to keep it like minimum damage on the Heatran. We could have put all 4 on the Heatran instead of 2 here. And then we could do 2 more from a spell tag theoretically. So it theoretically work out the same way. But if they do play Lysander Labs, this maximizes our damage. So we definitely want to play it out like this. Double custom, going after our Malamar. Not a big deal at all. What they knock it out with, I guess, is the bigger deal here potentially. There's another Beast Ring, so they can retreat. They can hide this Heatran, which I would assume is going to be their game plan. If they go into double custom catcher again, that's where I get a little worried. But there is a Hearth away a custom catcher, so that's not happening. They can't, they won't. They could try to, but it's not going to happen. We could even Steam and Stomp here with the Mimikyu if we wanted to. But I actually would almost like to try and build up into the Espeon Deoxys here. So I think I'm actually going to start with Stellar Wish here to try and find a treasure. Acro Bike can help us find it there as well. Because they can't bring up our dude anymore, our Espeon Deoxys anymore. So we could just try and build up into it. There it is. But yeah, we can just go with something like this turn. Bench Espeoxys. Could go with this guy to copy Steam and Stomp. I think I'd rather get the energy off this team, so we're gonna go like this, I think. I will Giant Hearth away this energy though, and then Lillie for 5. Only have a 12 card deck left. Yeah, we don't have much left as far as deck goes. Yeah, I like this the best, I think. I mean, I don't think we lose no matter what, but it's kind of a cute play where we can set up the Espeon Deoxys, so I kind of want to do it. Give ourselves maximum options on the next turn, because they are down, like I said. They're down 3 custom catcher. They can't bring it up and abuse the fact that it's in play like the way it is, so... yeah, so it is like the 2-shot with the Shadow Impact, so we maximized... Or they had the double custom catcher get around the spell tag. So, like I said, we're trying to maximize our damage... and by doing just the 2 to the Heatran to do the potentially 4 from the next spell tag, maximizes our damage. So, did that. That's pretty cool. And our opponent's going to be sending out the Blacephalon. Should not matter what they hit us with here anymore. We got the spell tag damage to go with here, so we can just go with another Shadow Impact. We can just hit him with Espeon Deoxys. We can even fully charge the Cross Division GX. Like, yeah, there's nothing our opponent can do at this point. They only managed to get down to 3 prize cards here before we're going to close this one out. And pretty solid victory here. Not much our opponent could do. This matchup is definitely favored for Giratina. I don't think it's ridiculously favored for Giratina because Blacephalon usually draws the first prize. If they go first, you're gonna get the first knockout with the Burst GX or like a Bursting Burn. If they go second, they're still gonna get the knockout with potentially with the Burst GX going first or going second on their first turn. So yeah, I do think this matchup is definitely a close-ish one. Definitely favored for Malamar, but I give it like a close. I give it a close overall on the scale of how the matchup goes. Got the switch, so we can pull off the Espeon Deoxys play for sure. Even if they were like retreated into Mew and used Mew to like ping something down this turn, which I think they were maybe planning on doing. But I think they did just attach for turn, so I guess they're not planning to do that. I don't actually know why the Mew is here now in play. That's confusing me a little bit. I thought there was maybe a reason for it. I can't come up with what the reason might be anymore. But yeah, if you attack from turn 2 on and find your spell tags as Malamar, you're usually going to beat Blacephalon. You usually just end up squeaking out the win by a little bit at the very least. Not too difficultly. And yeah, there's the Mind Blown. You can get rid of 3. Even if we didn't have the Espeon Deoxys, we still got the game here because we can just like ping this thing 4 times. There it is. Get that Recycle Energy back. Push the Jirachi up. Psychic Recharge twice. And then we could just clean them off with the Psychic Club here. We're doing 100. 130 with the Tina. That's enough, right? For each of your benched Psychic Pokemon. So yeah, we can bring Tina back. I don't know, ping these guys. Sure, why not? Unless I miscounted. We got this one cleaned up with the Psychic Club, and if I did miscount, we are going to lose, but I think Psychic Club cleans it up here just enough. 130 plus 50 is 180 damage. Knockout on the Blacephalon. I almost said Malamar, and we take the dub. Into another one here, going second in this one, but our opening is great. Double Acro Bike, Viridian Forest, Spell Tag, and a Lillie. So despite going second, with our start being this good, not really too worried about it. There's a Kartana initially here from our opponent, and a Netball. I'm super curious as to what's going on here. There's a Hoppip. All right, it is the Lost March, but I already had quite a few Lost March decks recently. I guess it kind of makes sense given all of the tag teams going around. Lost March is pretty decent against tag teams. So yeah, we'll see how this one goes. I don't want to really put Viridian Forest in play if I can avoid it. If Lost March is going to somehow have a way to beat Malamar, it is going to be through Lysander Labs usually most of the time. I'm going to go ahead and get this so I can abuse this communication. Still going to use the other Acro Bike first. Grab the Recycle Energy now. Yeah, calm away the Mew. I'm going to grab the Tina. Go ahead, put him down, give him the Recycle, give him the tag. I think I'm going to hold off on the Viridian Forest after having just ditched a Viridian Forest. Like I said, tags is how we get ahead. They want to use what's it called to get around tags. That's a lot of Inkays. Go ahead, hit him with the Stellar Wish here. Let me check my play. Ooh. I think I want the Calm here. It's better to use Calm when we can efficiently use Calm instead of using Treasure, so. Inkay, Ditto, and then I think I will pass. Yeah, pass over to our opponent and see what they can come up with. Not looking like potentially too great of a follow-up from our opponent. Only the one Hop-Up in play. So I don't even know if they're going to be able to get the knockout here on this Jirachi. There is the Skip Loom at the very least. Floral Path for 2. So I guess double Trumbeak or a Lost Splendor will get them there. So I guess I wouldn't be too surprised if they're able to pull off the turn 2 Lost March knockout. That'd actually be pretty reasonable. It looks like a double customs going after my Ditto. I'm actually fine with this. I kind of want the Jirachi to live, increase my chances of finding a switch out to get into the Tina on the next turn. It does kind of make sense, I guess, for them to use the customs here, because it does mean they can for sure get a knockout on this, because they only have the 2 in here right now, and it looks like it might stick with just having 2 in there as this turn closes out. So yeah, this is the only way they were able to get a prize, it looks like. So yeah, playing it out the way they did definitely makes sense overall, I guess, as they are going to get the KO on this Ditto here. Even though it exhausted 2 customs. Customs aren't really that big of a deal in this matchup anyways. I just like the idea of keeping the Jirachi around. Personally, I think it's definitely going to work out for us in the long run here to get that, get these attacks going. Yeah. Bench this guy. Viridian Forest. Get the energy. Gonna calm away. Doesn't really matter. Just one of these guys. Get ourselves the Malamar. Great. Malamar comes out on Inkay, attached to the Tina, and then play Cynthia. Looking for a way to switch, way to move this Jirachi. Nothing yet. So you just go ahead and hit it with a Stellar Wish. There is an Adventure Bag, a little bit better than the Escape Board because it can get us a spell tag for the following turn after as well. So we're definitely going to go with that over the Escape Board, even though we also had the Escape Board option. So here we go, turn 2 attack with Tina. Spell tag for this turn, already on the Tina. Spell tag for next turn in the hand. We don't have 2 Malamars set up quite yet to follow up on the next turn, and our hand is a little clogged down, so it might get a little iffy here going into the next turn, coming up with a way to actually attack again. But oh, I gotta put 4 damage counter somewhere. They got what, 2 in here? I think I'm just gonna go ahead and hit a Inkay. I don't want to hit the Jirachi. If they do have double custom catcher again, I'd rather have him kill an Inkay than a Jirachi, I think. Yeah, almost for sure, almost certainly. Karshana send up. Boom. There is another. We definitely don't want to hit our active. We don't want to make it any easier for a jump luff to potentially knock out our active. There's the fail on the floral path to the sky. Oops. I don't know what's going on there. How many jump luff they potentially had in hand or prized? Maybe 1 in hand, 2 prize, something like that. But that is not a good look for our opponent at all. There's a netball. Definitely going to have to see another Hop-Up here from our opponent. There's the Hop-Up. Yeah, so not too bad, but yeah, they're not going to be knocking out our Giratina this turn, which is a big deal actually in this matchup. If either player ever really gets ahead in the prize exchange and is able to stay ahead, that is sometimes just the game right there. I think I'll actually maybe even, because as of right now with my hand being locked the way it is, I think I'm going to look to potentially set up a Malamar, this Malamar, to be able to attack and then hope the spell tag triggers. Yeah, I think we are gonna do that. I'm gonna get ourselves a Psychic. I'm not gonna put it in play, just gonna Psychic recharge this one to the Malamar. I'll be with the Psychic recharge plus attach the Recycle for sure. And then, yeah, Shadow Impact. Get this knockout on the Amalgam. Go ahead in the prize exchange now and put this damage on the Inkay. We'll get a prize here. Yeah, give ourselves that potential there to attack with the Malamar, because we don't have 2 Malamar set up and our hand is really clogged down. We still want to use our spell tags efficiently. These Pokemon just can't make their way into play, so I feel like this is the best way to go about it. Could have maybe moved out a Jirachi out of the hand instead of the Viridian Forest. Get a Psychic, attach a Psychic, that would move 2 cards out, because I did just kind of hold on to this Psychic, which means we're that much further from being able to easily. So I guess I did make a little bit of a mistake there, for sure. I'm pretty confident that this Stellar Wish, our next Stellar Wish, will probably find us a Communication or a Treasure. I'm pretty confident in that happening. There's another Floral Path to this guy. So it looks like they actually had 2 jump left in that last hand, and then their 4th one was prized, but they didn't check ahead of time. So they did get punished there for that. There's a Nuzlocke Gathering coming out. But being ahead in the prize exchange, I'm feeling pretty good about this one now that we're ahead in the prize exchange. Before we were behind, and it could have come down to, if our opponent plays a lot of Lysander Labs, we maybe just wouldn't be able to keep up with the prize exchange. But now the way it's going, it's looking pretty good. I'm gonna go ahead and put all 4 on the Emolga, I think, because it is possible if I knock this out and then put like all 4 on the Shumpluff, even if I get set up a Tina with a spell tag, they could knock it out with Lysander Labs. We just really don't need to take that risk right now. Playing it out like this is just definitely the definitely ideal. We could also attack with Mew this turn with a spell tag if we really wanted to. Gonna go ahead and start like this. Get a Psychic out of the deck, thin out the deck a little bit more before we take a look with this Stellar Wish. There's a Cynthia. I mean, I kind of want to keep the hand, so I almost want to take the Acro Bike, but I think I am going to take the Acro Bike here, actually. We'll see what the Acro Bike gives us. Then we can go into another Stellar Wish if we want to, which I will do if we need to. There's a Malamar. We give up a spell tag, but that 2 more spell tags should be plenty. Not too worried about that. Distortion Door. I'm not the most fortunate of discards, but ooh, I guess I should have hit the Kartana. I don't think it really matters there, because I think they'll both attack before I could potentially finish them off with Tina and spell tags. I guess hitting the Kartana would have been a little bit better. Yeah, just a tad. Yeah, I'm not super worried about it though. Retreat. And then the Shadow Impact. They are doing 140 now. Oops, almost forgot the spell tag. So we are going to Shadow Impact. I'm just going to hit our active here because they are one-shotting us at this point. There's nothing to try and... There's no advantage to be gained anymore. Just go ahead and let ourselves take that hit on the active. There's another Giratina to the hand, which could definitely potentially be useful in getting more damage in play to combo with spell tags. Definitely going to try and utilize that. There's a Mountain Pass from our opponent. I wouldn't be surprised if they hit a supporter at this point. Yep, there's a Cynthia. We do have quite a few supporters left in the deck, and not very many supporters in our current hand, even though our hand is very big. So yeah, there is the Mountain Pass hit, and yeah. It's fine though. I'm not really worried about it. We could sit on this hand for the rest of the game and just win through it. We don't really need to see anything else at all anymore at this point. I mean, I guess we could use something like the Espeon Deoxys in a little bit to kind of close out the game a little bit ahead of time. They're actually going to do a Gust Effect on a Malamar and take him out here. Once again, don't think that really matters too much. Yeah, I'm not too worried about that at all. There's a big cut. We are going to try and get ahead on an energy attachment with this Giratina though. Because currently, if this Tina gets knocked out next turn, we won't be able to immediately respond. So I'm going to discard this guy, get that last Psychic out of the deck. Once again, keeping the deck thinned out. I am going to Distortion Door first, because I am going to do this no matter what. Get the prize card, see if that ever changes, theoretically, how I play out the rest of the hand. It is a Calm. That's not going to change anything. Going to go into the Stellar Wish, grab that Treasure away. The Jirachi, we shouldn't need any more Jirachis. Everything else has more potential use, I think, than any of those. Gonna get a Malamar. We will then calm away the Mimikyu, which I think is the worst out of the ones, the dudes remaining in the hand. Get another Inkay, get him on the bench, attach to the Giratina, like I was talking about. Not as important to do anymore, but I think I'm gonna go ahead and do it anyways, because we still have 2 Psychics in the hand. But not a big deal at all. I am gonna put this on this Malamar over here, I think. The only thing left to be scared of, I guess, is potentially Buzzmosa. Yeah, I think Buzzmosa is the only thing to potentially still be scared of. to potentially give our opponent a way back into this game to start taking knockouts. So I didn't want to do it to my active because if they have the Beast Energy plus the Buzzmo, so they could GX, draw 2 prizes, and then go like, I guess they're out of custom catchers, right? So maybe they wouldn't be able to do anything past that, but oh, then they could like switch or retreat into the jump luff and then knock us out with the jump luff. So yeah, I think this is just the safest way to go overall because we wouldn't be able to one-shot the Buzzmosa on our turn. Although we could maybe, I mean, they would need Lysander Labs as well, but we could like chase down the jump luff knockout with Mew, I guess, if the spell tag trigger. So they have to have like Lysander Labs, Buzzmosa, Beast Energy. If we put our own 40 here, they knock us out, get around the spell tag with the Lysander Labs. And I guess in that case, that's when we would maybe take an L. Don't think that's going to happen. Doesn't look like it's going to happen. It looks like we have this one pretty much wrapped up. Just kind of have to play out this last turn, draw this last prize on this jump bluff, and that's going to be it. And we will be about to take this dub over the Lost March deck. Yeah, definitely a favorable matchup for us. And no surprise that we end up coming out here on top in the end. I'm just going to go ahead and throw this all here before I close this one out. This is going to do it for the video on the Malamar deck. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Not a whole ton has changed to the Malamar deck. Just a couple little things to help it in the current meta with the Power Plant. The Recycle Energy, I think, has always just been good. Just kind of undiscovered up to this point. But yeah, that's going to do it on the Malamar deck, guys. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, give it a like. If you're enjoying the content, be sure to subscribe. Leave your thoughts in the comment section down below. Have a good day. Thanks for watching, and peace.